Obviously, a big part of this show is the MAGA hat.
For the first show, yeah.
Right. There are people that wear the MAGA hat and like what the MAGA hat represents. Are you afraid about alienating them? They could be fans of the show.
Alienate yourselves. Yeah. Go and alienate. You have my blessing. No, I could give a
It's fairly obvious where Larry David stands on Donald Trump.
Oh, I mean, you can't go a day without thinking about what he's done to this country, because he's such a little baby that he's thrown 250 years of democracy out the window by not accepting the results of an... I mean, it's so crazy. He's such a sociopath. He's so insane. He just couldn't admit to losing. And we know he lost. He knows he lost. And look how he's fooled everybody. He's convinced all these people that he didn't lose. He's such a sick man. He's so sick. Anyway, no, it hasn't impacted me at all.
Bill Maher, meanwhile.
I'm just acknowledging that I respect Charlie Kirk enough to look into whether that is, and it could be true, because I say it all the time, I don't believe anybody. Like, you just lost my trust, all media, right, left, very few people.
I'm right there with you.
Do I have, like, okay, I hear what you're saying, now I have to go vet it.
Hilariously, more people that I know that are center-left now say, I think Trump is not a monster because Bill Maher of what he said. On anything else.
Well, I didn't exactly say that.
Well, no, you said not a crazy person lives in the White House. That was what you said.
Right.
And you said he was respectful and gregarious,
yes.
Right?
I said not a crazy, but a person who acts crazy on the public stage.
Those are two different things, though.
I know, but that's what matters. I also said it doesn't matter what he does in a private dinner with a comedian. What matters is who he's on the world stage. What bothers me about the critiques I get is that they don't acknowledge the points I myself made.
Fair enough.
Has gotten softer and softer on the president.
I told him I thought parts of his plan for Gaza were wacky, but that I had supported him in the idea that Gaza could be Dubai instead of hell. I told him he was wrong when he tweeted the night before that I was critical of all things Trump. Not true. Check the tapes. Moving Israel's embassy to Jerusalem, loved it. The border did need to be controlled. I'm glad the cops are getting their morale back. DEI had gone too far. Biological men shouldn't be playing women's sports. Europe should pay for their defense. And of course, it makes sense that Arab countries should take in Arab refugees, like the million Syrians who wound up in Germany when Saudi Arabia took none.
He wined and dined with him, and in turn, Larry David would excoriate him. He'd write in an op-ed for the New York Times of his dinner with Adolf, a tongue-in-cheek, hilarious spin on Maher's dinner with Trump. It's spring of '39, and a certain letter would appear at Larry's house, an invitation to dine with Hitler. I knew I couldn't change his views, wrote David, but we need to talk to the other side, even if it has invaded and annexed other countries and committed unspeakable crimes against humanity. Maher is clearly still peeved at all of this.
But I'm an adult, and in the real world, there's some people you just can't stop talking to, like your spouse or partner after a bad fight, tempting as that is. Like your dick of a boss, like your family, and like the President of the United States. This is so childish, so purely emotional. The people who got all butthurt because I had dinner with them, you know, because he's Hitler. Except he's not. So unhelpful and dumb. Trump is the most supportive president Israel and the Jews ever had. You know, every year I used to ask Larry David to do real time, and he'd always say, Bill, I can't. I'm not smart enough about politics to do your show. Yeah, I get that now. Because there is no argument here. There's just the sugar rush that the no contact people get from never coming in second in a I hate Trump the most contest. Really? That's your strategy, to go full high school and tell the guy with all the power he can't sit with you at the lunch table?
First, you're lecturing us on having a fight with a spouse when, to my understanding, you have never been married. So what are you talking about exactly? What are you talking about? Secondly, the comparison to Trump being a spouse is just asinine. We vote, and sometimes we don't get our way. No one asked to marry Donald Trump. What the hell is this guy talking about, man? He's the president. Like, people vote for him or they don't. Like, that is an insane comp here, Bill. And, you know, I actually thought Sam Cedar and Emma Vigeland put it quite well at Majority Report. So here that is.
He had that dinner, like 6 months ago? This guy has been unable to let go of the fact that he was criticized for going to dinner with Donald Trump. And what he really has been unable to let go is that Larry David wrote a satirical piece that didn't even mention him, but was clearly about him. This has eaten away at Bill Maher in a way that I think is unrivaled by anybody. Like, I'm sure there's some, like, maybe some feuds that have taken place in
like, you wish you like got under Maron's skin
world.
this much.
Exactly. Even Mark Maron does not hold a grudge, like a resentment this long. But the idea that he can't help, but like, what it's also indicative of, and I will tell you, if Bill Maher was married,
yes,
or if Bill Maher had a family, this would be so far from his consciousness. But because his life is so empty of any type of real relationships, the idea that Larry David mocked him months ago is still in the forefront of his mind, and he thinks it is with his audience too.
I close with this. I concur. Bill Maher is the same guy that has said, yeah, you know, I'm not really into touring anymore. Like, he would even sell tickets. And I think what we have seen is really, like, the rise of independent media has helped expose this, because Bill Maher has always been a douche. He just has. Sorry for my language. He just has been a major douche. It's who he is. The way that he targets black and brown communities, terrible. He is a centrist-minded person who wants to protect his assets at all times and is even playing footsie with white supremacists and fascists. What more do y'all need in order to realize that this guy is a bigoted douche? We've seen it over and over and over again. The way he talks about Muslim people, Boots Riley exposing him, and many others going on his platforms throughout the years, not just even real time, politically incorrect, among many others. So if you haven't come around yet, I guess my question for you is, what will it take? Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.